Welcome back to the channel, everybody. LB here. Let's go. Hit the like, subscribe button before we even start. Get that out of the way if you haven't done so already. So today we're going to be looking over what I predicted on Thursday versus what actually happened. Yeah, we're going to do that. So on to the first game, which of course we all know was Everton against West Brom. So I predicted a 2-0 and this finished 5-2. I don't think anybody was going to call 5-2. Plain and simple, because I don't think anybody's seen West Brom scoring 2. But I think Calvert-Lewin was superb. I know he got the hat-trick, it's an easy player to pick out and say he done well, but I thought he done super. I thought he was really good. He looked very sharp. He was very quick with everything, especially his first, the back heel, but that was clean, that was quick, it was quick thinking. I thought he was super. He looked very on point and he took his goals very well. I think Richarlison and James Rodriguez seems to have found something that is actually looking like it's starting to work really well. The two of them started to understand each other a bit better and they played some very good balls between them. Two of them were really good on Saturday, and yeah, going forward Everton looked sublime. Defensively, on the other hand, Jordan Pickford, where do I even get started with Jordan Pickford? He is single-handedly the most overrated English goalkeeper since Joe Hart. He is bang average at best, and I don't understand how people think he's amazing, because he's not. West Brom showed some good signs going forward, but yeah, they've conceded 8 goals in their first 2 games. They need a serious turnaround or they're going straight back down. 1 point. Next game we're going to be looking at was Leeds against Fulham. Right, where do we even get started with this? Leeds just seem to absolutely love a 7-goal game since they've been back in the Premier League. Well, like I said, where do we even start? They looked incredibly fluid going forward. They looked really well going forward. Helder Costa had an absolute stormer. Patrick Bamford took his goal quite well. Keeper was quite suspect for it, but Patrick Bamford took his goal quite well. I think going forward, Leeds have a very good chance of causing every team in the league some serious problems. But their problems start from the back, and Meslier, nothing you can do with the penalty, take that away. Second and third goal, I would love to know why he was down. He was very poor for both of them. And Leeds will need to get a top class goalkeeper in if they're going to want to do well in this league. Because it's all well and good outscoring your opponents, but if you're leaking goals like that, it's a recipe for disaster. Defensively, Fulham did not look great. They looked like they were getting torn apart by easy plays. Going forward, yes, granted they had a little bit of luck. Mitrovic got himself in the score sheet, but yeah, no, I can't see Fulham down too much this year. Again, I predicted it was going to be 2-0 Leeds and it finished 4-3. 1 point. I don't even want to talk about this game. So Manchester United were nowhere near good enough to even consider that they had a chance to get 3 points here. They didn't even deserve 1. Granted, don't get me wrong, the penalty given against them, I'm still kind of confused as to how it's been given. Regardless, when De Gea saves it, VAR clearly shows his foot is still on the line, yet it's been made retaken, which again doesn't make sense. They score from it 2-0. At that stage it was 1-0. United went up, scored a few minutes later after the penalty incident. It was 1-1. Different game. United didn't deserve that now of it, but that was a different game. United were extremely poor, and for anybody who was saying that Donny van de Beek had a great game, no he didn't. He scored a goal, which if you put pretty much any one of the forwards for Manchester United in that position, they scored as well. Other than that, he didn't do anything. He wasn't any better than what we had in the pitch already. It's as simple as that. But with that being said, Crystal Palace played some absolutely fantastic stuff. They were thoroughly deserved of their 3-1 win. I guess 3-1, but I guess 3-1 for United, not for Palace.
You stupid.
I thought Zaha was super. I thought even when he came on, Eze done really well. I thought Ayew was done really well, other than the horrendous penalty, which ended up not mattering anyway. But yeah, Crystal Palace were fully deserved of their win, and no points. Okay, so the next game is Arsenal at home to West Ham, and in this game it just proved that there's no consistency in VAR. When, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it was a penalty against Gabriel, because I still don't think it was a penalty. But if you're going to give the one against Lindelof, which he was a yard away from it, taking his hand away, you're not going to give the one against Gabriel, who has so much time to see that ball coming down through the air, misses it with his head, and an outstretched arm catches him. If you're going to give the first one, you have to give that one. And I'm sorry, but there's no consistency in the VAR, and neither should have been given. But there needs to be more consistency in it. With that being said, Arsenal, look, they were given a very, very tough game. Looking at it, I actually thought Aubameyang was offside for the cross for Lacazette. Again, I haven't really looked at it again properly, but what it looked like to me is he was offside. Mikel Antonio took his goal really, really well, and he was unlucky not to get a few more. I'd love to know what's going through Leno's head and what's going through Arsenal's head to get rid of Martinez but keep Leno. West Ham kind of proved me wrong. I thought they were just going to fall apart. I thought they were going to be like a little kind of blow-away team that weren't going to perform this year at all. But they played some really good stuff. Nketiah obviously got the winner. I predicted 2-0 and it finished 2-1. I'll take me point for that. So, on to Sunday's games. And yeah, I did not see this one coming. I really did not see this one coming. Southampton at home to Tottenham Hotspur. I did call the goal scorers, but that's about all I got right. I did say Ings and Son, but yeah, no, I did not, for the life of me, see a 5-2 game coming. I thought this had 1-1 written all over it. Two teams that were playing extremely poorly beforehand in the game before, and to be honest with you, Southampton were horrendous at defending, and normally you'd understand when conceding 5 goals, but sometimes it's just the team was just far better. But if Southampton defend like that every game, they're going to get relegated. It's as simple as that. They were, Jesus, horrendous, absolutely piss poor. Saying that, they don't alright going forward. Danny Ings obviously got himself a brace. He's off the mark. But yeah, all in all, this was always going to be Tottenham Hotspur after the way they played. Yeah, I predicted 1-1. It was 5-2. So, another one I was completely wrong about was Newcastle at home to Brighton. This started to become a bit of a trend. I don't know if I like this. Newcastle were just completely and utterly torn apart, and it doesn't even come close to what I've just described. Brighton were just head and shoulders above them, took their chances and just dominated the game. The only positive I can take out of this, even though I predicted it was going to be 2-1 to Newcastle, I did predict Connolly to score and he did. So do you know what? I seem to be better at predicting the goal scores than the actual scores of the game. I might need to implement some point system for that as well. But yeah, do you know what? I'm kind of nervous. Going to be facing Brighton now on Saturday for United. Brighton have completely not done what I thought they were going to do this year. I thought they were going to be a fold over team, and I thought this was the year they were going to get relegated. But Brighton look like they're actually playing some super stuff, and they proved it on Sunday. I said 2-1 Newcastle. It was 3-0 Brighton. No. Main game of the weekend, Chelsea home to Liverpool. Let's not beat around the bush. The red card, the Kepa incident. These are the talking points. Obviously, I can see arguments for both, whether it's a red or a yellow. I can see arguments for both. I really can. Kepa, what is going on with goalkeepers? What is going on with goalkeepers in this league? Like, what was going through his head? Honestly, like, what was he thinking? Mane, obviously fair play to him. It wasn't easy to actually finish it. You had to take it down, you had to control, you had to be able to put it in the net. Great finish, super player. First header by him was incredible. Nothing Kepa can do about that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But yeah, no, he's not getting any sympathy from me for that mess up he had. I predicted 4-2. I got the margin right. It was 2-0, obviously, I'm sure you know. Do you know what? Liverpool look to be a really, really good side again this year, and it's no surprise to anybody. They're going to be up there. But with that being said, I'll take my point. Alright, so on to the next game, and it's Leicester at home to Burnley. I said I had a feeling this was going to be a really, really boring game. And yeah, I was wrong. There was quite a few goals in it. 4-2. I predicted 1-all. 4-2. I did, however, get Chris Wood right, so I am taking like a little bit of pride for that. I've been getting a lot of scores right, but yeah, no, to be honest with you, Leicester just looked to be a far better side. I don't know what happened to Burnley. They kind of fell apart a little bit. They were great going forward, but defensively they were very, very shaky. Again, it just shows what difference Tarkowski makes when he's in there. Fair play to Leicester, again, earned 6 points now, and they've a goal of 5 goal difference. Fair play to them. I was wrong, clearly, but it'll be interesting now to see if they can continue that throughout the season. No points. Next up, you have Aston Villa against Sheffield United. I did say I was going with a little surprise result of 2-1 Aston Villa. It ended up finishing 1-0 to Aston Villa, so I got me point anyway. But yeah, on the topic of goalkeepers being woeful, what was Ramsdale doing for that goal? My lord, he was atrocious for that. He could have literally walked across his goal line and caught it. Take nothing away, Villa played well. Granted, it was against 10 men. Didn't actually see the red card instant myself, but from what I read, it was a definite red, but I haven't actually seen it. It might not have been. Yeah, do you know what? I said 2-1, I finished 1-0. I'll take me point. So the last game of the weekend was Wolves at home to Man City. And yeah, I got this one right. Let's go! I said 3-1 City, 94th minute. Gabriel Jesus makes it 3-1. Do you know what? City look like they're absolutely back to business here. They look like they mean absolute business. They're taking no prisoners. Take nothing away from Wolves. Wolves played very, very well in parts of that game. But City look like they mean absolute business. Can we just take a minute to appreciate the absolute cracking nuts on Kevin De Bruyne? That was filthy. Great ball in after the fact then for Jimenez to bury the header. So that was a really, really enjoyable game. Both sides played some lovely football, but City just looked like an absolute sheer out of control. They look like a different kettle of fish altogether. Wow. So wrapping that up, I predicted 3-1 City and I finished 3-1 City. 3 points on the board. Okay, so this week's challenger from the comment section is Nathan Heaver. And he went with Everton 2-0, so he gets a point for that. He went with Leeds 4-1, he was very close with that one, to be fair. Another point for that. He went Manchester United 3-0, no points unfortunately. He went with Arsenal 3-1, so he gets a point. He went with Southampton to beat Spurs 2-1, no points. He went with Newcastle and Brighton to be 1-all, no points. He then went with Chelsea to beat Liverpool 3-2, no points. He then went with Leicester to draw 2-all with Burnley, no points. He went with Aston Villa to win 2-1 against Sheffield United, he gets 1 point. And he went Wolves to beat City 2-1, no points. I'm back. 1-all now, 1-all. Unlucky Nathan. Congratulations on getting selected for that. Unlucky with the results. And we will go again on Thursday. Make sure you put your comments and your predictions into the comment section. You could get a chance just like Nathan did today. So as always, like, subscribe, and that ding bell over there. Peace.